Lisa Sparks is an American porn star best known for having sex with 919 guys in a single day. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, that's one man every 2 minutes in a 24-hour period. The world record-setting event took place in 2004 during the Polish convention aptly named Eroticon. This marked the third annual World Gangbang Championship. Mrs. Sparks competed against 2 other women, one of which was the former world record holder, who had sex with 759 men in one day. When interviewed about the all-day screw session, she stated, quote, "I had a blast. A little sore for a few weeks, but I had fun. One can only imagine what that room smelled like." You may or may not have heard of Three Dog Night, but they sold millions of records in the 70s. The lead singer Chuck Negron had so much cocaine-fueled sex with after-show groupies that his penis exploded, literally. Before the incident, his doctor saw that his penis was chafed and swollen and warned that he should stop having sex for a while. But unfortunately for him, Chuck ignored the advice. In his autobiography, he recalled his dong, quote, "split open like a hot dog in a microwave." Dr. Carl von Kossel spent 7 years sleeping with a rotting corpse. After one of his patients died, he exhumed her body, placed it in a wagon, and rolled her back to his tiny apartment. As she decayed, he patched her body with wax and silk. He used perfumes and other chemicals to try to mask the smell of her rotting flesh. When rumors started to swirl around town about the affair, the local authorities busted down his door. Upon examination of the body, doctors found that he replaced her eyes with glass eyes and even inserted a sort of vaginal tube so that he could continue to have sex with her. Hans Christian Andersen is world-renowned for writing classics like The Little Mermaid and Disney's Frozen. He also kept an extensive diary of his masturbation sessions. Sometimes he would go to brothels in Paris, not to touch the women, but to speak to them, return to his hotel room, and wank off. Then he would write about it in his diary. After spanking it so many times, one of his journal entries simply read, "penis sore." Also, some entries in his diary suggested that he was bi-curious. After all this sexual activity, he died a virgin. A man seeking sexual pleasure catches his penis in a swimming pool suction fitting. Robert Chevron rented a room at a Lakeland, Florida motel. While swimming in the pool, he thought it would be a good idea to stick his wiener in the pump filter. When paramedics arrived, they applied lubricant around his willy and started a gentle rocking motion until he finally popped out. After the 45-minute ordeal, he was taken to a nearby hospital and was treated for bruised genitalia. Described as a, quote, demon from hell in the disguise of a priest, Pope Benedict IX was a wild boy. Becoming Pope as a teenager, he would have crazy orgies at the Vatican. He was a lover of men and beasts alike because over the years, he would add dudes and several animals into the orgies. He was also the first and only guy to sell the office of the Pope so that he could go get married. In May of 2005, helicopter pilot David Martz decided to join the Mile High Club with Swedish porn star Puma Suede. Shortly after liftoff, his pants got zipped off, and the woman gave him a blowjob 2,000 feet above the city of San Diego. The FAA didn't know about the incident until a video of the BJ surfaced on gossip site TMZ. The then 52-year-old pilot lost his license to fly because the courts believed that flying with your pants around your knees and a porn star blocking access to the flight controls could pose a slight problem. Miraculously, he got his license back 1 year later. He vows no more shenanigans in the cockpit. A machine shop worker tore his scrotum in a piece of machinery and then stapled it back together. In 1991, a Pennsylvania man spent lunchtimes alone in the workshop, where he regularly enjoyed the sexual thrill of placing his penis on the moving canvas fan belt. One day, the excitement had caused him to lose his concentration, and the fan belt snatched his scrotum into the flywheel, throwing him several feet across the floor. The incident left a large gash and exposed his testicles. He got up and used a factory-grade staple gun to repair the damage and went back to work before his coworkers returned from lunch. When he finally went to the doctor 3 days later, they found that his left testicle was completely missing. The fan belt must have been like, "These nuts, ha, got him." A Hong Kong man tried to have sex with the park bench, but got stuck in the process. 41-year-old Li Xing put his penis through a hole in the bench and couldn't get out when he became aroused. When officers and doctors arrived at the scene, they had to cut the bench from the ground and take it, with Zing attached, to a city hospital. It took doctors 4 hours to cut him free. They stated that if he had been stuck for just 1 hour longer, he may have been forced to amputate his penis. Mr. Zing told police that he thought it would be fun to have sex with the park bench. 63-year-old Edward Smith has had sex with over 1,000 cars. His first encounter with the vehicle was his neighbor's car as a young teenager. A self-described mechaphile, he has also had a relationship with a helicopter and a plane, claiming that they are all better than women. He says he doesn't actually penetrate the cars, but he does masturbate and ejaculate all over them. Edward says he keeps his clothes on during his passionate sessions, but his pants are unzipped and his wang is hanging out. Since 1982, he's been with the love of his life, a VW Bug that he's affectionately named Vanilla. Talk about getting rear-ended.